It's time to go turbo with Harmless Phosphorescence! Hello everybody! Welcome to Harmless Phosphorescence. This is your host, Rose Smiley, and I'm pretty good at being alone. But I'm not! Who's joining me this week?
I'm Josh Cece, and I haven't glown in 16 years.
I'm Brian Lesh, and my fingers emit liquid energy.
I'm Alaric Weber, all caps, so you know I'm serious.
And this is Harmless Phosphorescence. It's the podcast where we watch every theatrically released full-length live-action superhero movie ever made. We gather some research into the production and the source material, and we tell you all about it. This show's brought to you by our patrons. Patrons like executive producers Michael Beckwith and Atticus Burkett. You want to be a patron too? It's easy. Just go to patreon.com/harmlessentertainment. We got lots of bonus content there. We've got Star Wars miniseries. We got some holiday shows. We got music stuff there. We do a monthly movie where we just pick a random one from random years. So $1 a month is all you need to get started. Head on over and check it out. This week, though, on Harmless Phosphorescence, we're watching Max Steele.
We're home, Max. Fresh start.
Fresh start number 9.
No more moving around.
I promise.
And we have a new student, Mr. Mcgrath, Max Mcgrath. You're not Jim McGrath's son, are you?
Why does everybody in this town know more about Dad than I do? You knew my dad. I need to know about his work.
Your father was working to find a way to harness energy beyond anything that mankind has ever attempted. He was right on the edge of a breakthrough.
What's happening to me?
Max?
No, stay back!
My name is Steele.
What? You speak English.
Max!
My mom is coming.
Is my mom dangerous?
No, come on.
Go cold hands.
You gotta clean in here, bud.
Did you do this to me?
No, Max, your father gave you these powers. I'm just here to show you how to use them. Let's get started. Max, you can use your energy in many different ways. You can run faster. Be stronger. And I haven't even shown you the best part yet.
What? This is awesome.
You're welcome.
Max,
Sophia.
you okay?
Yeah, just really late from my,
Okay, this is boring.
my Zumba class.
The girl appears to cause increases in heart rate. Perhaps you should avoid contact.
Perhaps you should shut up.
See? She has made you angry. The Ultralinks are here to destroy the Earth. And your energy is the only thing that can stop them. Time to suit up. Coming in hot, Max!
Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this.
You have to learn to control these powers.
Go right.
Let's go left.
No, let's just go straight then.
Okay. Go, go! Run faster. So much faster!
Your father believed he could save the world. It's up to you now, Max.
Steal now! Go turbo!
You okay?
Yeah. 2 more bruises than usual.
Max Steele, released October 14th, 2016, with a running time of 92 minutes, cost $10 million to make, and it took in $6.3 million at the box office. They lost some money on this bad boy.
How much did Andy Garcia make?
Yeah, of that
The
10
most.
million, I'm pretty sure 4 million was Andy Garcia.
Probably.
Yeah.
He's legit.
Yeah, but I also don't know what the fuck he was doing in this movie.
Oh, same here.
Getting paid. That was
Yeah.
it.
Well, yeah, but
I wasn't referring to him in this, even though
Yeah.
he is a bright spot. But yeah, no, I meant
he
in
is,
general.
but he's also giving a crazy performance where he's half phoning it in and half just like chomping the scenery to pieces.
yeah.
But anyways, speaking of the box office, guys. I think it's time we play the box office top 10 game.
Ooh, can we guess where this one opened?
Yes, guess. Everybody guess.
Okay.
Who wants?
11.
Josh says 11. Brian
17.
17. Al
I too was going to go sub top 10. 15.
15. Josh gets it. It opened at number 11.
Dang.
Ooh, I never
On the
win
money.
anything.
Yeah.
Ooh, I feel good.
It's that tacky on energy, Josh.
It is. It's
It'll get to
tagging
your
right
head.
now.
And then you'll explode.
Yeah. Just
Fingers crossed.
just to put it in perspective, it only made opening weekend. It only made about $1 million more than the Harry Potter IMAX marathon, which was a
that
marathon of all 8 Harry
Eight.
Potter movies on IMAX screens only.
Awesome. Serve me up.
That's a weird thing to compare it to, but yeah,
get
it's
beaten
not a lot
by-
of viewers.
Well, because that was at number 13, so it's right there.
Oh,
You're
okay.
right.
Who
That
knew
makes-
that 11-year-olds had that much money to make $1
Yeah.
million?
So all right, Max Steel opened at number 11, and at number 10.
Oh, you're
Ooh.
not going to read the description?
Oh, the description of Max Steel. All right, yeah. So Max Steel's box office mojo description: the adventures of teenager Max Mcgrath and his alien companion Steele, who must harness and combine their tremendous new powers to evolve into the turbocharged superhero Max Steel.
Now available at Toys R Us.
Maxwell Steele.
Oh my lord. Okay, so at number 10, Nat Turner, a literate slave and preacher in the antebellum South, orchestrates an uprising.
12 Years a Slave?
No.
No.
Oh, the other one. State of Jones?
No.
Oh God, what is this one?
This is it's named after a very, very old, very, very famous movie, which I assume
Oh, is this like Song of the South?
it's called The Birth of a Nation.
Oh, that's
Oh, right. The Steve
Yeah.
is that his name? Steve McQueen? No, he's
Steve
a
McQueen.
designer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. At number 9, when a pilot lands his damaged plane on a river in order to save the passengers and crew, some consider him a hero, while others think he was reckless.
Oh, this isn't Sully. This is the one with.
It is
It is
Sully.
Sully. It is
Wait,
Sully.
people think that he was reckless.
Yeah, he got criticism because
He
that's the
saved
human
everyone's
way.
life on that plane. I can't
know.
think of another pilot who's done
What
that.
else was he supposed to do? The plane's going down. What else
Right.
was he supposed to do?
Yeah,
like,
if there is a
Crash,
time
and no
to be
one will be at
reckless.
fault.
He's like, yes, I was reckless in that I avoided a complete wreck.
Right. There was no time to,
What's
no
the
time
Denzel
to
Washington
scoot over.
movie where he's a pilot and he does?
Oh,
not-
Denzel?
Yeah, what is that movie called?
That was what was that called? It was
It's a great movie.
that's a Robert Zemeckis film. It was
Yeah.
it was his first live action one since like What Lies Beneath or something.
Have you guys
Um,
seen that movie? Not to completely distract us on an airplane thing, but Denzel is like high as fuck on cocaine and
Yeah.
has been drinking all night, like drinking liquor, and he wakes up and he's all
Oh.
bleary eyed and flying the plane,
Right.
and something goes out and he has to flip the plane upside down
yeah,
Right.
to land
remember
it
that.
safely. And like the air traffic or the guys who investigate after airplane crashes, they're like, how did you even do this? And he's just like, cocaine, one hell of a drug. I don't know. Like,
It was
I
called,
love,
Sorry,
what
it was called Flight.
yeah.
Oh, it is
I
good.
love that movie so much because of how bonkers that scenario is, and the fact that he like flips the plane upside down.
A bit of a tangent. I just found out this week that John David Washington is Denzel's son.
You didn't know that,
I didn't know that.
dude?
Like
Where would I know his-
Washington's a common enough last name that it just,
He's
Where
the
would I know his-
protagonist in Tenet.
in Tenet, yeah, and he was in Black Klansman, but yeah.
Mm.
Cool.
Yeah. After learning that, I was like, oh, you can hear the voice completely.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the only way to make new actors is to literally make new actors.
Yeah, no one gets hired anymore unless their parents have been in Hollywood for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up at number 8 on the box office top 10. After his principal destroys his sketchbook, Rafe and his best friend Leo decide to destroy his book and break every rule in the school's code of conduct.
Attica.
Oh my God.
Is that a
Proportionate
Nickelodeon film?
response.
What was that, Al?
I said, is this a Nickelodeon film?
It actually might be.
Good question.
Wow, who's in this?
Saved by the Bell, the movie.
There is nobody I recognize in this movie. Wow. It's called Middle School, the worst years of my life.
Everyone's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was close with Attica. Middle school is basically
Yeah,
a prison.
basically.
As far
yeah.
as the attitudes and vibes.
At number 7. Okay. Having moved on from delivering babies to packages, when an order for a baby appears, the best delivery bird must scramble to fix the error by delivering the baby.
Storks.
Yes, storks. How did you all know of
Snorks.
this movie?
I didn't know it existed, but that would have been my guess also.
I haven't seen it, but yeah.
That's a
I did-
movie?
I did see it because 2016 Jude was 7 years old.
Yeah.
And that's why.
Yeah.
You're like, this is how babies are made. Let's go see a film about it.
No, he was very like, storks deliver babies, and I was like, you've never seen a Warner Brothers cartoon, have you?
Yeah, there's so many things like that.
Yeah, like, it's so weird. Storks, like, that's the bird that delivers baby. Like, where did we come up with that?
Where did it come up? Somebody one day saw a stork that had picked up a baby.
A stork stole a baby one day, and they're like, yeah,
Stork.
maybe a stork
That's a weird
stole
word.
your baby.
Like, I didn't eat that baby. It definitely delivered it to a woman.
Turns out that comes from German folklore.
Weird. I
Oh,
didn't
the
even know they had
stork?
storks in Germany.
It's German folklore held that storks found babies in caves or marshes and brought them to households in a basket on their backs or held in their beaks.
On their back.
Weird.
What a
That's
strange
really weird.
question.
It's very German, though, when you really think about it.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah.
The
The
stork
woman
found the
was
baby
trying
in
to
a
get out
cave.
of-
Found a baby in a cave. Santa has a racist friend named Pete. Like, there's a lot of German
Isn't that?
shit.
I thought that was the Dutch.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
There are a few iterations, but yeah, I think the
Yeah.
Dutch is the most famous. Zwarte Piet.
Yeah.
Okay. At number 6, a group of gunmen from a variety of backgrounds are brought together by a vengeful young widow to protect her town from the private army of a destructive industrialist.
Silent Hill.
No. This is a remake of a pretty famous film, which in itself was a remake of a Japanese film.
Magnificent Seven.
Magnificent Seven.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Good.
The Seven
guess,
Samurai.
pal. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Phew. Number 5. A dramatization of a disaster of an offshore drilling rig exploding, resulting in the worst oil spill in American history.
Starring Mark Wahlberg.
The Wall.
Yeah,
How much Bud Light does he drink in this fucking movie?
all of it.
What was the first line of that description?
A dramatization of a disaster.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
It's the
They're
oil
dramatic
spill.
enough.
What is it
Yeah.
called? It wasn't BP's fault. It was
Oh,
human nature.
Deep
Ocean.
Horizon?
Deep Water Horizon.
Deep Water Horizon.
Oh, that was in it, yeah.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers spent millions of dollars dramatizing,
An oil spill.
an oil spill that was
Mhm.
completely avoidable.
Yeah.
And expected at the very least. You're dealing with crude oil.
Yeah, we're drilling at the ocean floor. Like, guys, that's not going to go well.
Somebody's gonna get hurt.
Number 4. When Jacob discovers clues to a mystery that stretches across time, he finds a school. But the danger deepens after he gets to know the residents and learns about their special powers.
Huh.
This is a YA fantasy film based on a YA fantasy series.
Jacob is the character.
Jacob, yes. I know Jude read the book and liked this movie.
Maze Runner?
It was Tim Burton film. I think no, not Maze Runner. I think Tim Burton just produced it. I don't think he directed this thing. It's Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's most homes.
Yeah. Number 3. A comedian performs in front of a crowd of 53,000 people at Philadelphia's outdoor venue, Lincoln Financial Field.
A stand-up comedian?
Yeah. That's the entire description. If I told you the name of the film, you would just, or if I told you which comedian, you'd just know the name of. It's a stand-up that's also an actor. He's good friends with The Rock.
Oh, Kevin Hart.
Yeah,
It's
Kevin
called
Hart.
Kevin Hart. What now? Opened at number 3, a Kevin Hart stand-up.
That explains why freaking this movie opened at number 11 and not number 47.
Yeah. Yeah, this week was a real slow week for movies.
Yeah.
At number 2, a divorcee becomes entangled in a missing persons investigation that promises to send shockwaves throughout her life.
Gone Girl?
No, but
Gun
A
Girl.
Jada Pinkett story. She had me at entanglement.
I vaguely remember this. I don't think I actually saw it though. It's The Girl on the Train. Yep. That is that movie.
I can visualize.
And opening at number 1.
This better be good.
Or you're all fired.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint, Al. As a math savant uncooks the books for a new client, the Treasury Department closes in on his activities, and the body count starts to rise.
This is that Matt Damon movie.
Yeah.
Not
No, not Matt Damon. Ben Affleck.
Oh, it's Ben Affleck. Oh,
The
God,
Big
even
Short?
worse.
No, that was
Is this
Ben
the
Affleck?
accountant?
Yes, starring Ben Affleck, Anna Kendrick, J.K. Simmons, and John Bernthal.
The Accountant?
He's an accountant who just kills people.
Yeah. Yeah, he just kills people.
So maybe he's a hitman that does math. I think we need to switch those up.
Ben Affleck is more believable as Batman than a math savant.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait. Matt Damon played a savant in Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting.
And then Ben Affleck played a savant in The
It's
Accountant.
how Ben Affleck fucks with Matt Damon.
Matt Damon's like, really, Ben? Really?
He's going to play a spy who wakes up in a lake someday.
I just watched The Last Duel, Ridley Scott's most recent picture.
Oh, that was a
And
good
it's
movie.
set in medieval France, but Ben and Matt are both in it, and they have the worst 12th century haircuts.
Oh my God. Yeah,
all
Ben
time.
especially. That Ben Affleck haircut is
Those
amazing.
haircuts were
Like
done
a
by the
Caesar
same
dude.
person who gave Hawkeye his haircut in Endgame.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
I'm just distracted by what's going on top of your head.
Totally.
Yeah. last duel.
Didn't one of them have bleached hair also?
That was Affleck.
It was Affleck.
Yeah, it was a Caesar dude, but it was bright blonde, and so was his beard. Now, obviously, blonde people, but it was dyed looking. It was hydrogen peroxide looking.
Yeah. It was bad. It was, yeah. All right, so that is the end of the box office top 10. This movie was not based on a comic book, so Al, I'm giving you the week off, buddy, unless you just want to talk about some random comics. Archie is pretty good.
Yeah, totally.
Gem and the Holograms.
There actually was a comic book
Oh no.
created. I don't think. Hang on, I've got more information on that.
Was it promotional or did it precede?
It was promotional. Yeah, it was a promotional comic book. Released in 1997, distributed as a free 12-page comic book titled "Take It to the Max" to introduce the character.
TJ Maxx.
So this was concurrent with the release of the toys, I believe.
Yeah, the first line of toys. Yeah,
That's kind of cool though, to release a toy and a comic book at the same time.
Yeah,
a free comic book for, I assume, kids at Toys R Us would like be able to pick it up on their way out or something.
it was consistent with Mattel's practice of doing so with like the 12-inch GI Joe toys.
So
Is this a one? What I forget what the scale is on a GI Joe, but is it like a GI Joe sized toy?
yeah. I'll actually get to that.
Okay,
in
I
just
figure
a second
you'll-
in the production. Yeah. So, do you have anything else on the comic, Al?
No. Let's wait. Hang on. We'll see.
We don't have to see. Like we don't.
The comic consists mostly of two different briefing presentations, supposedly happening at the same time.
I love comics that consist of presentations.
Yeah. One at Dread headquarters and one at MTech headquarters.
Okay.
Yeah. So John Dread is the major antagonist for Max Steele, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah,
Not
and
Max and Steele.
yeah,
No, his name was Max Steele. It being two different characters that combine is actually we'll get into that in a second here. So
yeah, I got no more.
okay.
Yeah,
So
gross.
So that dovetails nicely into the origin for this, which actually goes back to 1972.
Jeez.
When the Big Jim line of action figure toys was created by Mattel. It was made Big Jim was the special agent analog to G.I. Joe. James Bond had been very big, so they wanted to make a G.I. Joe except with size figure, so it was like the 12-inch.
Big Jim.
I remember
Big
those.
Jim.
Like Big James.
Yeah.
Big Jim.
Yeah, like James Bond, Big Jim, it was supposed to be G.I. Joe, but secret agent. So in Central and South America, Big Jim was actually known as Kid Acero, which translates to Kid Steel. And in the 90s, they decided that Mattel was trying to come up with a new toy. They came up with the name first, Max Steel, which they based on the Kid Acero line. Basically, they were blue sky brainstorming. They came up with this name. They had Kid Acero. They decided to call him. 90s, everything was like intense to the max.
Yeah,
extreme. So, thus, Max Steel.
Yeah, it's the maximum amount of steel.
Yes.
No more, no less.
Concurrently, while they were developing the toy, they contacted Netter Digital, which was a CGI company. They did all the CGI for Babylon 5. They did the Dan Dare and Robotech 3000. They weren't an especially good or well-known or well-regarded company.
I bet you they were affordable.
I bet they were affordable.
Well, yeah, Babylon 5. I wasn't a fan of that show, but it didn't look like a powerhouse of special effects.
No, and Babylon 5 is actually a much better show than it probably should have been for what it was, but that's an entirely different tangent I'm not going to get off in. Oh, Hypernauts. That was their big one. Hypernauts was the cartoon they did in the 90s. It was created by Douglas Netter, who actually used to be the head of what was MGM. He was the COO of MGM for a while in the 70s. Anyways, so they contacted them to make a cartoon that would come out at the same time as the toy line, and it did. It was a bad CGI cartoon that aired from 2000 to 2004. They made a couple straight to Cartoon Network movies as well afterwards. And then in 2009, they started developing a film based on this project. These were also like 10-inch sized dolls. There were a few different ones. They were all kind of secret agent based. There wasn't the alien thing. There wasn't the mech suit looking thing. There was like a surfer guy, and then there was like one in a tuxedo. There was one that was like a snowboarder. So like they were extreme, Max Steele, extreme to the max, secret agent, super young secret agent. But then in 2009, they decided to try to develop this as a film. They originally, let's see, Taylor Lautner, is that the dude's name? Taylor Lautner was going to be in the starring role. Now but he dropped out due to his commitment to starring in the Stretch Armstrong movie.
Wow.
He's like, I'm sorry, I'm committed to Stretch Armstrong. I can't be in a different toy movie.
Is Stretch Armstrong not owned by Mattel?
Stretch Armstrong is Kenner.
Oh. Yeah.
Kenner,
Hasbro.
the Star
Hasbro.
Wars. Yeah. The Kenner
Yep.
Star Wars story is really neat.
The Pepsi to Mattel's Coke.
Yeah, they're arch enemies.
Macy's and Gimbals.
Yep. Yeah. So there has to date been no Stretch Armstrong movie, FYI.
Well, when it happens, I'm sure we'll add it to the list.
Yeah. They dropped that when in 2013 they started making a new television series, a new cartoon. This one with them being from space, and there being the little Steele guy, and he forms with Max, and so they changed up everything, and they started making the little G.I. Joe sized figures instead of the big G.I. Joe sized figures. Star Wars action figure sized, the little ones. When that came out, they also decided to go ahead and start production on the film. The film began production in February 2014 and ended production in May 2014. It sat on the shelves for 2 years before they released it. So
they were just waiting for the right week.
Yes.
To get number 11.
Yeah, where they could dump it. It's wow. Yeah. So they did not have a lot of faith in this film. Like I said, it made $6.3 million on a $10 million budget. It was, let's see, it was written by Christopher L. Yost, who wrote The Dark World and has credits on The Mandalorian. He's currently working, or he's on Ragnarok. He's currently working on The Mandalorian. He's a pretty, well-regarded writer. He was the executive producer of the Netflix Cowboy Bebop series, which got canceled after one season. But yeah, we've talked about him before on Thor: The Dark World. It was directed by Stuart Hendler. Stuart Hendler. Let's see. He also directed Sorority Row. That was a 2009 slasher film. Let's see. Halo 4, Forward Unto Dawn, which is a straight-to-video CGI movie based on Halo. A movie called Whisper, which came out in 2007. That's also a horror film. This guy doesn't do a lot of stuff that people like. Sorority Row is his most successful film. Its film stars Ben Winchell as Max Mcgrath. Ben Winchell is best known for playing Aiden in the movie Teen Spirit. I wonder what he smelled like. Oh God! Ooh, he played Dixon Ticonderoga in the series Ant Farm.
The pencil?
Yes.
He played a pencil? Or was that a person?
Ant Farm is a Saved by the Bell style show from, I don't know if it was Disney or Nickelodeon. Jude watched it when he was little. Let's see. He's done some Law and Order work. He was in Necessary Roughness for 2 episodes. He's working. He's in a movie called The Road to Galena, but he's not been especially successful. So yeah, that's what that dude's been doing. Maria Bello.
I'm sorry. Did you mention My Super Psycho Sweet 16 Part 3?
I did not. But he was in that.
How did that not make the list? That sounds like a superhero movie. Super Psycho Sweet 16? Yeah. Their power is losing their mind.
Isn't that was a reality show, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was a reality show. Maria Bello plays Molly Mcgrath, the mom. She actually had
she works
a career.
Yeah.
She's in a bunch of stuff. Permanent Midnight, she was in.
I love
Coyote
that movie.
Ugly, Autofocus, the remake of Assault on Precinct 13. She works Company of Men. Grown Ups 2. Currently, let's see. Her last movie was The Waterman in 2020. She's currently in something called The Woman King. She did a lot of TV work. She was in NCIS for like 3 years. Law and Order. She works. She played Mrs. Smith in the Mr. and Mrs. Smith TV series. That it was in 1996. I had no idea that existed. Yeah. So, Anna Villafane as Sophia Martinez. She played Gloria Estefan in the Broadway musical On Your Feet. She's a singer.
Good for her.
Yeah. Let's see. She was in Mozart in the Jungle, a series which I meant to watch at one point, then forgot existed. She did some voice work in GTA 5. She was in New Amsterdam. Oh my God, she's in the upcoming reboot of Night Court.
Nice.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's a Night Court reboot coming. Dan Fielding's going to be in it. And then Harry's daughter plays Harry's daughter.
Wow. Is there already an IMDb page up?
I don't know.
I'll have to check. Yeah, that's wow.
Yeah. Yeah, but they actually got Harry Anderson's daughter to play Judge Harry's daughter.
That's so great that on 30 Rock, when they staged the real final episode of Night Court to satisfy Ken, but Tracy's like, I'm going to be playing Mac in the Night Court movie. And the real Mac is standing there and he's like, what's that? No. And also he's like, I lost a quarter. Or I found this quarter. And Mac's like, I lost a quarter earlier.
Speaking of reboots, did you guys hear there's a Quantum Leap reboot being made?
No.
Yeah, Quantum Leap.
But it would work.
It'll be fine.
It won't be as, you can't compare it to the first.
It's a modern interpretation of something that wacky. It'll be cool, I'm sure.
Or
yeah.
awful. Yeah. Yeah. I watched the first episode of How I Met Your Father and immediately wished I hadn't.
Yeah.
Our good friend Lucille was in that. She's an extra in the background.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, huh. I didn't know that.
Neat. It was cool for her.
Oh, well, good for her. It's still a terrible show.
Yeah.
Not her fault.
Yeah. No, not her fault at all. No, she's personally responsible for it being bad.
The extras.
Andy Garcia plays Dr. Miles Edwards in Max Steel.
Barely.
Yeah. Andy Garcia. Oh boy, yeah, he's worked. Oh my God, he was in the first episode of Murder, She Wrote. Yeah. Yeah, apparently that was one of his early roles. He was in the first episode of Murder, She Wrote. He was in Hill Street Blues for a while. Let's see, he was in The Mean Season with Kurt Russell in 1985. Then The Untouchables.
Yeah. It's good.
That was kind of his breakout role. He was in The Godfather Part 3, which was nobody's favorite Godfather.
But he does a great job because he sort of takes the role of the Sonny character.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, throughout the years, Things to Do in Denver, When You're Dead. Oh God, Hero. Remember that movie with Dustin Hoffman and Gina Davis?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
The plane crash.
Yeah, exactly. Desperate Measures, Night Falls in Manhattan. I mean, he's been working for decades. Oh, he was in Ocean's 11. He was the bad guy in Ocean's 11.
That's what I recognized him from most.
Owner. Yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah,
yeah. He ends up becoming their inside man / betrayer in future movies also.
That's right.
Yeah, he can play both the hero and the villain, and his villains are usually not over the top, which is appreciative.
Yeah, usually not. He did star in the 2018 box office darling, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again.
Here we go again.
Here we go again. Yeah. And my Dinner with Hervé, along with Peter Dinklage. Weird. Did you guys know that what's his face? The inconceivable guy. What's his name?
Wallace Shawn?
Oh,
Wallace Shawn.
Yeah.
I just saw an interview with him. They're making a sequel to My Dinner with Andre. Wallace Shawn and Andre are making a sequel.
Okay.
Yeah.
I imagine they had more than one meal together.
Yeah, I imagine so. That's about it for Max Steel. There's not much else to say about it. You guys
by the numbers.
It sure is. You ready to jump into the movie itself?
Yeah.
How much did Mattel say they were going to pay us for this?
Not enough. Not enough to make me watch this movie twice. All right.
We ready to go turbo?
Unfortunately, yes, we are, Al. Here we go. This is Max Steel. We open on a house.
Wait, before we even open, can we talk about how cool the fucking Mattel logo looked?
Right? What was up with that?
This felt like it was a prestige Mattel film. Like they had been doing this successfully for 15 years.
Well,
and they were like, here's Mattel.
And there were shots of like Hot Wheels and stuff. And I was like, why isn't there a Hot Wheels movie? Like, what the fuck? You're going with Max Steel?
Man, they really missed an opportunity with the success of Cars. If that had been a Hot Wheels movie, kids would have ate that shit up. I would have gone to that movie as an adult. I love Hot Wheels.
Or if there's one in tandem to that, as
And
so
the whole
many
plot
movies.
could have been like a Hot Wheel gets stuck inside a person's digestive system.
Okay. So
Wow.
I mean, here's the thing. My older son Rain, he was really, really into Hot Wheels as a kid. There actually were a series of straight-to-video Hot Wheels movies, CGI Hot Wheels movies made throughout the late '90s and early 2000s that were all pretty uniformly terrible, but they should have made a big budget, like actual theatrically released Hot Wheels movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think G.I. Joe movies had already come out at this point. We'd already probably seen 17 Transformers films.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
And the cars wouldn't need to be anthropomorphic. It could be a situation like Cannonball Run or the Gumball Rally, but that kind of thing. And they make so many varieties of Hot Wheels. It would be fun to see characters switch from like an ice cream machine that's souped up,
right?
Yeah.
Driving
That
a dump
was
truck.
the CGI straight to video movies were like they were kind of like a speed racer. Like there was a series of races across the country. So all right, we open on a house. Is this in Florida? Because it seems swampy and everything's very warm, but also it's called Copper Canyon, and there's definitely not a place in Florida which you would ever name Copper Canyon. That sounds like an American Southwest kind of place.
Yeah.
where copper is mined. Yeah.
Where copper is mined, and there's canyons, because there's not a whole lot of like big canyons in Florida.
No, it's almost below sea level completely.
It looks like Greenbow, Alabama to me.
Yeah.
Greenbow. Yep.
It's weird because I did watch a little bit of both the first episodes of both the TV shows. And the first TV show bears no resemblance to us whatsoever. But the second one does have a place called Copper Canyon, which is in a big Grand Canyon looking place somewhere in the desert in the Southwest.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Are they moving in to a house at the beginning?
They're moving into their childhood home, or his childhood home.
Yeah, this was his childhood home, and they're moving back for the first time since 1999.
So that's not how houses work, unless they still owned it the whole time.
Yeah,
I would assume they had to have. Otherwise, none of that makes any sense.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. I'm glad they addressed it, but I was going to be like, they moved to a new town, but yet her husband's company just luckily is in that town.
Yeah, no. They moved back to the town that he was born in.
Doesn't he find something in the house to establish that it was his childhood home? He finds
There's
like
a bunch of
Mattel
stuff.
product or something with his name written on it.
There's a bunch of stuff. There was his bedroom with the stars. There was
the stars.
His baby pictures. There was a calendar which said 1999, thus telling us they hadn't been there since 99. Like there was a ton of stuff in this that like they left everything they owned basically.
Right.
Yeah. So
and then like so many people saying your father was a good man. Your father was a good man. Your father was a good man.
Yeah, why was he so famous in this town? Does he drive around the town being like, "Hello, everybody, I'm the scientist. I'm good."
He like provides jobs. It was kind of how I read into their him being a good man thing. They're like, capitalism is great. Thank your father and his ghost for our jobs.
Okay.
That was how I was like, I
was
don't know how else to
noble
read this, because he was a secret alien. Sorry, spoiler alert.
Yes, he was a
They're the
secret
worst
alien.
kind.
So all right, we meet Max Mcgrath, who for a split second I thought they said Mark Mcgrath, and I was like, the lead singer of Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray. They were clearly inspired by this guy's name.
Like,
I always thought that was the coolest name as a kid.
Well, and then at the end of the movie, the captions started, it said apostrophe girls. I don't know. I thought it was just McGrath.
Oh no, it was McGrath.
Alien name.
But his alien name was
McGrath. Oh, Mcgrath. That's right.
And they humanized the alien word to be McGrath, which leads me to believe that Sugar Ray is an alien band. Have any of you seen that video where a dude calls as Mark McGrath? It's like a paparazzi video, and Mark McGrath's getting in a car, and someone's like, "Hey, Sugar Ray," or should I say Sugar Gay? And Mark McGrath gets so angry and comes out and tries to beat him up.
Oh,
I would have laughed.
that's hilarious. And
He got
also, it's even funnier that he tried to fight the guy over it.
Yeah.
Right. I would have been like,
How dare you sully the
Not
name
great
of
joke.
Sugar Ray? We have many number one
the
singles.
premiere 90s.
The
Yeah.
premiere 1998 to 1999 band. Max and his mom have moved back to his childhood home. They haven't been there since he was a baby. We find out they move around a lot. His dad's dead. He starts school the next day. That night, his hand does a weird thing to the TV.
So why do they move around a lot? I'm just going to ask my unanswered questions because we're going to have so many.
Well, she answers in the end. Why? At the end of the movie, she tells him why.
I guess I must have been glossed over by that point.
It's because he was an alien, and she was afraid if they settled down anywhere, that the bad guys, I can't remember what they're called, the bad aliens would find them, and that
the Ultralinks.
The Ultralinks would find him, and that if they made any connections, that people would find out he's an alien if he started showing powers.
I forgot about the Ultralinks already. The world's hottest hot links.
Yeah.
The
We're
Ultralinks.
That's the
Ultralinks
name they came up with.
It takes you to Reddit porn.
I watched
Ultralinks.
I watched a hour-long CGI. I don't know, 3D animation Max Steele cartoon, which came out after this, trying to get some better perspective.
Oh no!
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but they introduced a thing called Connect Tech, which I could have sworn was like a different line of toys.
Yeah, those like magnetic ball bearings. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a wait. Connects. Those were just called Connects.
Okay.
With an X at the end.
And it gave the users more powers, better armor, or something like that. But this was like the formation of the Team Turbo.
Turbo.
Yeah. Was it the connecting? Oh, and the
shit we make for kids to play with. Oh my god.
The villains some of the villains were called the Elementors.
The Elementors. I'm gonna element you. I'm an Elementor.
I'm an Elementor. I'm gonna teach you about fire.
Right, mentor.
Well, no, that's the thing is that the Ultralinks, what are they?
Yes,
Ultralinks.
Like control different elements. They can control wind, fire, rain.
But Steele is an Ultralink also. Is his power tachyons or love?
I don't know.
I assume it's love.
I don't know. Why is he a good guy? And why do the other
rebel? They said.
There my unanswered questions about the aliens. Like, so okay, if he's an Ultralink and the other Ultralinks can control the weather, but they don't have to be parasitic to a whatever Max and his dad are. They can just fly around and fuck shit up.
Well, and they're huge.
No, they're little, but they make huge weather things that they're a tiny thing in the middle of.
Yeah.
Just like Wallace Shawn.
Yes. They are the Wallace Shawn of aliens.
Alien invaders.
I think Steele's power was to harness accidental sarcasm.
Oh, I forgot to mention
It's
Steele,
all around me.
The voice of Steele. I forgot to talk about him. The
kid
cast.
from Silicon Valley.
Yeah. Josh Brenner. He played Big Head in Silicon Valley. That was what he's best known for.
Well, and it's obvious that they wanted a plucky comedic, actor for that dynamic, but he was the best they could get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the way Jack Black was used back in the day and stuff like that.
How far down the list was he, and how far down the list was Andy Garcia, like of people that they wanted to have in this movie?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just FYI, this guy, Josh Brenner, he's going to play Donatello in the upcoming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles CGI movie that's coming out this year.
35 years old.
Yeah.
It's CGI. We don't have to do it.
Yeah, thank God. But can't we get like some teenagers to play teenagers for once in our lives?
Nope, never gonna happen. Johnny Knoxville, 53-year-old Johnny Knoxville was a turtle.
Yeah, man. They're turtles. They're also teenagers. Let a kid play this role.
So anyways, we get a title card. Max rides his bike to school the next morning. On the way, he checks out the old abandoned science mill.
So at the beginning here, there was some Karate Kid Danielson like vibes. You know, he's not cool enough to have anything more than a bike. He's a nice guy, but he's awkward. Befriends the cutest girl.
And they keep showing old kung fu movies like in the background of him. Like there was a weird thing with like martial arts going on that never paid off.
I will say up to this point in the movie, I was kind of surprised at the cinematography of it.
Yeah.
It looked way better than I had initially given it. Like, I was like, oh, it's going to be awful from beginning to end.
It was very well shot, but that's all.
We arrive at the science mill. There's an overhead drone shot. And I literally, I watched this with Jeremy, friend of the show. I said to him, this feels like a Marvel movie. Like, I know we're not far enough in to make any real judgments, but stylistically at this point, they knew what they wanted to do with the beginning and the origins and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they set up all these questions, which would have been great to pay off. But man, somewhere around here, things really went off the rails.
Well, yeah, and like the oh my god, the meet cute, like all the tropes, like with the meet cute,
every superhero trope.
Not just superhero, like every movie trope ever. Like the girl, like I'm good at cars because my dad taught me. Like,
which does not pay off at all for the story. Characters should drive story, like 100%, and none of that happens in this movie at all.
She fixes his bike. That's the closest we get.
A kid who grew up without a father and then starts to develop powers when he's a young teenager. And then they had in the bedroom, like, hold on thing.
Yeah.
Practicing and learning powers. It just
every single trope you could ever imagine.
The girl is, to me, a huge disappointment in this storyline because it would have been great because there's a lot of time where we don't see the suit. Right. Yeah. And we'll get to that, as there are times where we see it, we don't see it, we see them connect, they don't connect, which could be done narratively and make sense. But she's a perfect example to have, like, we got to get to the cute girl so she can maybe fix Steele for me so that I can wear him again at the end of this movie instead of 45 minutes of him not wearing the suit at all.
Yeah. Exactly. He barely wears the suit ever. Well, and the girl, like, oh my God, like what, how damaged is she that she thinks this dude who clearly has mental issues from her perspective is a viable boyfriend?
Well,
like, oh my God.
He denies her advances. So she is now chasing him. It's a really weird characterization for this character.
It really is. I could not for the life of me understand why this girl would be into this dude.
It's a teenager written by a committee of grown men.
Yeah, it is.
For sure.
Which is a bummer.
Mm-hmm. So he gets hit by her in her truck. She offers to give him a ride home since his bike got messed up in the accident. It's so weird him not being able to, like, there was multiple scenes of him not being able to, like, hear her or understand her right, and I couldn't understand thematically what that was about.
He's just staring off into the middle distance, you know? He's reliving traumatic experiences in his head, I guess.
But like
he's like, I wonder if my dad was a good man.
Yeah. But then, like, her banging on the window later on and him not being able to hear her through the window, like, it's a weird ongoing theme that didn't pay off in anything thematically.
I know why, though. Tachyons, obviously.
Yeah, tachyons. So she, let's see, in school, he discovers his dad was locally famous for being a real good scientist guy. Then after school, she picks him up, takes him back to her house. She introduces herself as Sophia. She fixes his bike for him, and then he does a weird thing to the radio. They flirt. He goes home.
I deduced that, like, his boners interfere with the radio.
This boner's like an antenna.
Well, because he has liquid energy coming out of his fingers. The moment
and other things.
I thought, does that only come out of his fingers, or does that come out of everywhere else? Like,
Oh,
It comes out at night.
oh no! It comes out of anything finger shaped on him.
Finger shaped. That's not creepy.
whoa,
but
yeah.
it is.
At home, he finds Miles Edwards, his dad's old science partner with his mom. Miles now runs Entech, the company they co-founded. Meanwhile,
were they were intentionally making it look like Mom and Andy Garcia were an item, right?
yeah,
And that was their
I
secret.
thought so.
They were like,
Yeah.
oh,
Their secret was that his dad's an alien.
yeah.
Yes, but they were trying to obfuscate that by making it seem like she was fucking Andy Garcia.
They're like, we don't want him to think he's an alien. Let's just make him think that we're fucking each other, and we betrayed his father.
He's like,
and
yes,
killed his
let's do
dad.
that."
Yeah.
And he also like gives a little shout out to Spam.
Yeah, did
And
Spam?
it wasn't like in a bunker situation.
Yeah.
Is
But
there in
that
their
didn't go anywhere.
pantry?
Did Spam pay for product placement?
Because he says, "Oh, it's great. It lasts forever," and then it doesn't come back.
Yeah, there were so many weird little things that were set up. Like when he runs into that kid in the hallway and the kid's all weird to him and they do like picking up. And I thought, oh, that's going to be like the best friend sidekick kid.
Yeah,
that
or
he's going to bounce.
He's gonna save him in a pinch or something.
Yeah.
Or
Guy in
or
the
like he's going to
chair.
be the man in the chair. Like it seems like they were setting up a character and then they just weren't at all.
Yeah, there's a bunker underneath that house, and we do not revisit it.
I'm wondering how much of this movie got cut out. Like
A few
I feel like there was
things,
I feel like there was a lot that didn't make it on screen that they shot or wrote or something. Meanwhile, in some sort of vaguely science type looking place, a weird thing in the water wakes up and starts shooting out blue light and busts the place up and breaks out of the building. The science type guys also have some gun shooting type guys, and they say it hasn't been active for 16 years.
I thought this was really cool. The foreshadowing of the thing erupting from the bubbling blue water. That was a cool looking effect. And they didn't linger on it too long in the beginning, and it made me curious and it looked cool. And then it ends with him flying out of the thing and Fantastic Four or Fantastic dooming a room full of people.
Yeah. All of the film craft of it, like the way things looked, the editing, all that kind of stuff, wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
Until
There
the
was
end of the
craft.
first act. After the first act, the whole thing falls apart completely.
It really does get,
Nothing looks good throughout the back half of this movie whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets pretty bad. Back at home, Max and his mom have dinner with Miles. Miles tells Max that he was there the night his dad died in a science accident. He tried to save him. But the power goes out. Miles gives Max his card, offering to let him see Entech anytime he'd like. Max Googles his father's accident, apparently for the first time ever. Discovering it was attributed to a big tornado which destroyed the lab. Then his fingers start glowing blue and shooting out sparks of energy. The next day, he goes into the forest with some electronics and learns how to control his powers at a basic level, although he still doesn't have much control. At school that day, Sophia invites him on a date. I thought she was inviting him on. She says the name of the restaurant. And somehow Max knows that means the following day at this specific time. So he goes home. He Googles himself. He types into Google, "What am I?" Like, Jesus Christ.
He Googles, "Why do I have electricity or energy coming out of my fingers?"
Why do I?
I love it when movies use Google as character development or to like illustrate a plot point. It's like, why would you Google that?
Well, I don't know. I feel like it's better than him, like the classic, "I'm going to call my science teacher and ask him."
Oh, God, yeah.
Because he very well could have, "I knew your father. He also had electric energy coming out of his pee hole. Don't ask me how I know."
Industry secret.
So, all right. He goes, he Googles himself. He asks his mom about his dad. She's evasive.
Are you laughing at the Tracy
Googled
Jordan
himself.
implications. Of
Tracy
that.
Jordan,
himself,
exactly.
yeah.
Hey, Liz
I love
Lemon, let me use your computer so I can Google myself.
Yeah. Is it okay? Yeah. Is it okay if I use your computer? How else would you do it?
Yeah.
The next day, he meets Sophia for some boba tea. He does not like boba tea, the one thing which Max Steele and I have in common.
It's his kryptonite.
You don't like the chewiness of the pearls?
I do not like the balls. No. So
I like this moment because this was like one of the only moments where they felt like real human beings. He emotes like
Building.
2 whole times in this entire movie, and this scene where he's laughing at the awkwardness of him not liking boba, and then at the end when it's zoomed in on his face like Iron Man and he screams.
Oh my God, that. Yeah, let's be clear. This lead actor has all the charisma of Boba Tea. Like, he is not.
Hey, boba tea has bubbles in it. This man is without any balls or bubbles.
That is true. Shots fired.
Sorry, guy. At me, Max Steele.
Sorry, brah.
So they flirt. He begins to emit power. So he freaks out and runs into the woods where energy explodes out of him just as he blacks out.
So we're led to believe later, just because we're not going to really come back to this scene, he would have killed everybody if he had exploded.
It would have been like a thermonuclear device going off, basically.
Like, his mom has no idea that this is a thing. Like, hey, you should look out. You may explode if you're excited.
But I'm so confused why his powers started coming out at this point.
Well, like puberty, they've used that in other movies.
Puberty, but this dude is clearly 25 years old and still in high school.
And not so much just the age of the actor. Like it didn't happen at any point before they moved back to their hometown. Is there something special about the hometown?
Right,
Is there
like
is Dad's spaceship there? Maybe is it Steele?
I have to assume it's his proximity to Steele, but they never ever actually explain that.
Yeah.
So, all right. He wakes up in his own bed. We have no idea how he got there. Did Steele fly him there? Did he get there under his own powers? He just blacks out in the forest and wakes up in bed.
Oh, well, we see he has burns all over his shirt and he has an X on his chest.
Yeah.
So we're led to believe that Steele put the suit on him and flew him there in the suit.
Okay.
Wasn't it almost an M shape?
Oh, maybe it was.
Oh, it is kind of almost an M shape, isn't it? For Max Steele.
And that was a thing from the cartoon that I saw. Steele would form kind of an M shape in his chest. In the armor.
Okay.
For Mcgrath or Mcgrath.
Mcgrath. So all right. He has burn marks. He meets Steele, who's a little kind of like drone-like looking alien that has amnesia.
Well polished CGI.
Yeah.
Every time this character is on screen, it was believable.
Yeah, he looked good. The CGI for Steele looked good. I'll give him that. They have a symbiotic connection. Max emits energy. Steele absorbs it. He keeps Steele hidden from his mom by shoving him in the hamper, and we get a dirty clothes joke. Steele tells Max that he eats the energy Max emits. That's not the only thing he eats that Max emits. So shit gets freaky. If he didn't...
I would have loved to have him be a pair of briefs instead of like a chest harness.
If he doesn't, then Max is going to overload and explode. This seems like not a good evolutionary not a good design evolutionarily for this species to emit so much energy. You're going to explode unless this other species comes over and eats it from you.
Well, and it seems like we don't know, but Max's dad he may be unique. He may be unlike all of his brothers and sisters in the Tachyon people race. He's like a mutant, was what I assumed. Because there's only one of Steele, right?
Steele's the only Ultralink that is like this. All the other Ultralinks are mean and don't connect to anybody. So
are they mean though?
They
Because
seem pretty mean.
They could be like caring, loving parents, just doing their jobs, you know.
But why do they want to show up and destroy this place? Why do they want to destroy Max's dad? Like, we don't get there.
An Ultralink's got to feed his family, man.
They're just doing their job.
Alien motivations are beyond us, and they're not clearly there. Was no reason, right? They weren't like using the Earth for its.
They gave us no motivation for the aliens, and we barely got Andy Garcia's motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. They go to school, but on the way, they're found and chased by a group of armed men who shoot at them. They flee and are chased. During their flight, Steele remembers something about the night Max's dad was killed, and he's able to transmit the memory into Max's head. They go to school where Max hides. Him and Steele bond. Steele tells Max about an evil race of aliens called Ultralinks that will come and just try to destroy them for unknown reasons. His dad was killed by an Ultralink, which took the shape of a tornado. Max and Steele break into the abandoned Entech facility where Steele teaches Max how they can work together to harness his energy, effectively giving him superpowers like running and jumping and shooting energy. The energy is called turbo energy.
Yep. Hey, I have a question about those goons.
Yes.
These are the most fair weather goons in the history of goonery.
Yes. And also like
don't they know this kid's gonna explode also?
They act like they're from the CIA, but they're from a science company.
Yeah. Or they're like a security agency that was hired by the science company. Like,
yeah, but
you think you'd know, like, don't shoot the kid. Also, he has an alien. That shit will explode.
And also, like, we're a security company. We can't just drive around in black SUVs shooting people willy-nilly. This, like, someone's going to notice that and not like it. It's 2016. There's cameras. There's, like... Yeah.
They had Copper Canyon removed from any maps, so they can do whatever they want there.
So Max decides to go talk to Miles. He and Steele get on his bike and ride. But they're soon found. Thank you. They're soon found by the armed men. They evade.
This was an homage to E.T., right?
Yeah.
This was like clearly an homage to E.T. I kept waiting for the bike to fly as he would like come down another hill and be like, "Oh no, more bad guys!" And there was the line of bad guys.
Yeah,
like did they end up flying over? I don't even remember. At this point, I was like,
no,
checked
they didn't
out.
fly at all on the bike. So they run into Sophia, who's annoyed at Max, but still agrees to give him a ride to Entech. On the way, Sophia's like, this cute boy with clear mental issues is somebody that I should hook up with.
Why is she going to see Andy Garcia with him?
Why?
Live in concert.
Well, and then when they get there and Max freaks out and runs away, he's like, you should take care of him. It's like, wow, this is some real misogynistic, like bad, like this girl exists only to serve Max.
Yep. She will make a great wife one day to our hero.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Yeah, it was real bad. This didn't even come slightly close to passing the Bechdel test. Not even slightly. There were two female characters. They speak once, and it's only about Max.
Yep.
So let's see. She forgives him for leaving their date so suddenly. They arrive at Entech. Miles tells Max that his dad was working on creating a source of unlimited power and tells him that he died because he was like not following OSHA rules or something.
He left the radio plugged in while he showered. Guy was reckless.
Yeah. Max begins to have a power surge, so he just runs out into the woods. Constantly, this kid, there's scene after scene after scene of this kid freaking out and just running through the woods.
Oh, we'll get to running in a little bit too. Oh my God. This is Batman or Superman and the Mole Man all over again at one point.
Oh my God, yes. So he apparently runs until nighttime, at which point he's attacked by a tornado.
He's like, no sleep till Brooklyn.
He runs from the middle of the afternoon until night through the woods, then gets attacked by a tornado in a train yard.
Is he trying to burn off tachyon energy by running? Is that what's happening?
No.
Or is he just having a panic attack?
And Steele is like nowhere around until the Ultralink shows up, and Steele just pops in out of nowhere.
Do you think Steele was just like flying above? Like, how long do you think he can run for?
Be like, this kid can really run. He's enjoying track.
Yeah, he's really got some endurance here.
So then Steele shows up. They link up, creating a suit of armor around Max. They defeat the Ultralink, which turns out to be an alien that's identical to Steele. They share another memory in which it appears that Steele betrayed and murdered his father. Max, in his anger, tells Steele to leave him alone, and Max runs through the woods some more. He goes home. His mom's not there, and he assumes she's missing because she's not at home.
She left him a note on the fridge.
That said, went out for groceries, but that was earlier that morning. She's like still not there, I guess. And then later on she is, and we don't know where she, like, that's never answered where she was or anything.
Also, it's 2008 or 9, right?
No, 2016.
Oh, it's 2016.
Yes, it's 2016.
These people all have cell phones.
Yeah, they do, but he can't. They conveniently get his cell phone out of the way by making him like short it out every time he touches it.
That's right. He can't touch a cell phone.
Yeah. Unless he's wearing rubber gloves. But anyway,
I wish we got more shots of him in the rubber gloves, man. That made me laugh.
That was
funny.
funny.
About that.
Yeah. So he calls Miles, who tells him he knows about the Ultralinks. The the evil men kidnapped his mom and have taken her to the abandoned N-Tech facility. The
science mill?
Yes. Meanwhile, Sophia calls Max's house, talks to his mom, telling him that they saw Miles that day. Turns out the armed men are there with Max's mom. She's the majority shareholder of N-Tech, and she realizes that Miles ordered them to kill Steele. And she's like, "You work for me now."
Yeah, is that how that works?
I guess. And they're like, "Yes, ma'am." So she tells them to go find Max and bring him back safely.
Do you think she could have done that with the Ultralinks too?
I don't know.
I'm the majority shareholder here on Earth.
The
You work
Ultralinks
for
are
me
like,
now.
oh shit.
Oh shit. Can't go against the shareholders.
Yeah, this is a capitalist society.
An intergalactic capitalist society.
So, fuck y'all.
We represent the Trade Federation. So at the N-Tech facility, Max finds Steele being held captive. How did that happen? We never saw that. Like, how? How did he capture Steele and put him there? We never saw any of this on screen.
He used one of those boxes with a stick.
Yeah.
And like put a little tachyon inside the box.
Oh, right. Yeah. He knocks over the box if he goes in there.
Yeah. But then also like, and it's never why Steele like is asleep and then wakes up suddenly and joins with Max for no apparent reason. Yeah. I don't know. So we discover that he has a flashback. He sees that Steele and his dad were betrayed by Miles, who was working with the Ultralinks. Miles plans on draining Max's dad, but he overloads the core, destroying the Ultralinks and stopping Miles's plan. Steele goes into stasis, ordered to sleep until he can find Max. After the vision, Miles shows up behind Max. He has a big suit of armor on that can drain Max of his turbo energy. He tells him, this is the big reveal. He's revealed, your father was an alien, Max. That's how we find out. Andy Garcia just tells him, and you're half alien.
Well, wouldn't you wonder, like, are you human? Why are you wearing that suit? Where did you get that? You look like an alien.
He tells Max he built the suit.
Yeah.
They fight. Steele wakes up. He and Max work together, forming the armor. The men his mom sent show up. They accomplish nothing and run away. Then Max and Steele are nearly defeated by Miles, but at the last moment, they overload Miles's suit with the energy it's absorbing, and Miles explodes.
Yeah, your father developed a way to harness energy. We have that already.
Yeah, but also like his dad just emits this energy, but he was building a big battery thing. Was he supposed to stand there and hold it all day long, filling it with energy?
Tachyon.
In the aftermath, his mom finds them, reveals she already knows Steele, and she married an alien. Sometime later, at home, his mom reveals that they moved around Max's whole life to protect him from the Ultralinks finding him. Miles suggested they come back to Copper Canyon to keep an eye on him to see if he develops alien powers. She gives Max a necklace that was from his dad, and then he uses it to look at a star map that Steele generates to find his home planet. He goes back to Steele's house, or to Sophia's house, to return her car and apologizes to her for acting erratically. He promises to tell her everything. They kiss. He and Steele leave. They suit up and fly off into the sunset. Roll credits.
How did he get her car? Because he was running around the whole back half of this movie. We don't see him driving the car without her.
He did. He went to her house and asked to borrow her car, and she gave him the keys, and then we did see him drive it.
Oh, okay.
Only watching this twice did I notice all this, because the first time I was so hard to pay attention.
It's a painful, challenging film.
It is not fun. It is not. It's not so bad it's fun. It's so bad it's hard to watch. It's like I found Cats to be. Like it's not even fun to watch for being bad. So that's the whole movie. This was real fast. We went through this real fast because hardly anything happened. And they went through the whole movie takes place over like 2 days. It's real fast. There's not a lot going on. They do like four things.
The majority of it is the tropes that we all know and are familiar with, the superhero tropes. They just did every single one they did.
20 minutes is of him running through the forest.
Exactly. In an hour and a half movie, 20 minutes is him running through woods.
I know that I've passed out in the woods before and then woke up in my bed.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of this kid's teeth throughout when he's in the Iron Man perspective in the suit. It was just a lot of him like grinding his teeth.
Yeah, and being like,
too much teeth.
Yeah. The kid wasn't good. The movie wasn't good.
The toys weren't good.
The toys look terrible too, by the way. They don't look like fun, interesting toys. They look like pretty generic. Both lines. The original line looks like pretty generic. Like
the Mego action figures kind of.
Yeah, and the second series looks like pretty generic, like day glow action suit stuff, like generic as fuck, this whole thing. So I don't know. I don't have much else to say about this. My unanswered questions, we kind of got to. The whole movie's an unanswered question.
Yeah. How much money is Mattel going to pay us now?
Yeah.
Less than they were at the beginning.
We owe them money now.
We do.
Yeah.
Do you think they were imagining a sequel or a franchise?
Oh, 100% they wanted this to be a franchise.
I'm sure
because
they did.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Kind of glad it wasn't.
Yeah. This has 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, and deservedly so.
It has 48% from the audience reviews, and I sorted by 10 stars and just read a few of those, and oh my lord, people love this movie. It is real weird. There's something for everybody out there.
Yep.
Hey, if you love this movie, then good on you. I don't want to take that away from you, just because I didn't.
Yeah, I certainly didn't.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't have anything else to say. You guys just want to rank it and move on.
Yeah.
Before we rank it, I came to a realization the other day. So I always seem like I don't really care about the rankings and that, it's gonna. But I finally decided what my own criteria is, and it's based on back in the day when we had basic cable and remote controls. But I just look at the movie and I ask myself, if I was like just hopping through channels and I saw that movie, would I stop and watch it? Or would I keep clicking? So now I have a different perspective.
Interesting. Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
That's a good way to look at it.
Mine is would I buy the toy?
That's not bad. Not bad criteria.
So, all right, I've got us here at the bottom of the list. I think we can all agree that's a good place to start at. I don't know.
It's like a step up from All Superheroes Must Die.
I definitely don't think it's that bad. I think it's not Super Capers bad. I don't think it's Crow Wicked Prayer bad.
I think that this is Crow Wicked Prayer bad.
Okay.
Andy Garcia made me think of Dennis Hopper.
Ooh.
In that movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's better a little bit. His performance is a little bit better.
I mean, Quest for Peace, Phosphorescence. I feel like it's within. I personally would put it in the Jonah Hex Phosphorescence area myself.
Yeah.
That's my own.
Yeah, it's above Son of the Mask.
Because there's like a basic level of like Son of the Mask was nearly unbearable to watch for me. Like
yeah. Well, and Quest for Peace also is just poorly shot and edited and looks bad.
This at least had a basic level of filmmaking competence to it. It's funny. Our executive producer Michael Beckwith was mentioning in our Discord chat, which anybody who's a patron, please join the Discord chat. It gets lonely in there. That he listened to the Superman 4 episode the other day, and we ranked it last at the time when it came out. And we were wondering if we would ever find a movie that was worse than it. And we clearly found a number that were we got 5 that we ranked below it since.
It's hard to beat All Superheroes Must Die, though.
That was profoundly terrible. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like it's in the Phosphorescence Jonah Hex area. That's my own personal take. I don't know what you guys think.
I think that Phosphorescence was somehow more fun than this movie. Likewise, Jonah Hex, more fun.
Agreed.
Yeah,
definitely Jonah Hex. Agree. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Phosphorescence. I can see that argument. At least Josh Trank was trying to do something in Phosphorescence, even if he wasn't allowed to in the end.
Yeah.
I would put it. I'm thinking between Phosphorescence and Superman 4.
Okay, all right. That's Al's vote. Josh.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Right. All right. Let's do it. We will put it there. Number 114 out of 120. That's where Max Steele belongs.
Mm-hmm.
Which means we are done with this movie. That was quick.
Is this about to be our shortest podcast ever?
No. Our first episode was 50 minutes.
Okay.
Again, a movie full of running through backlots.
Yep. Yeah. Just running.
Yeah. So that means it's time to move on. Next week on Harmless Phosphorescence, we will be watching Doctor Strange.
Nice.
Yeah, that's going to be a step up from Max Steele. So thank you all for hanging out with us on Harmless Phosphorescence. This has been your host, Rose Smiley. I'm going to go Google myself.
I'm Josh Cece, and that boba really tied the room together.
I'm Brian Lesh, and we must avoid the claw.
I'm going to go blow some stuff up in the woods. Appliances mostly. I'm Alaric Weber.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye.